Dear students, having discussed steady state in the Solow model and also the dynamics of the steady state, now we consider saving rate changes in the Solow model. What happens to the steady state if there is a change in the saving rate? Now suppose that the economy has arrived at the steady state value of capital per head and output per head. Once the steady state is reached, capital per head and output per head remain constant, and neither capital nor labor nor output, all these variables are remaining constant, because in the model it is assumed that population growth is 0. Now suppose that in this situation, consumers decide to increase savings from S1 to S2. Initially, saving was S1. Consumers decided to increase saving from S1 to S2. Suppose also that economy was at K star 1 before the savings increases from S1 to S2, and the corresponding saving investment, this is the point where investment per worker is equal to depreciation per worker, and K by L is constant, and resulting output per head is Y star 1. Now, if consumers decided to save more, then the savings function S1Fk shifts from S1Fk to S2Fk. S1Fk to S2Fk. Now at initial K by L, K star 1, as you can see, saving or investment per head exceeds depreciation per head. Investment per head exceeds depreciation per head, and remember this steady state is defined as S of K S of K, steady state is defined as S of K is equal to lambda K. Is equal to lambda K. And here S of K exceeds lambda K. So investment exceeds depreciation. So delta K is positive. Delta K, change in the capital labor ratio, is positive, and K by L keep on rising until K star 2 is reached. Until K star 2 is reached, where again the savings per head or investment per head is equal to depreciation per head. So, as the economy reaches the new steady state capital labor ratio K star 2, the corresponding output per head is Y star 2. So, increase in the saving rate results in a higher steady state level of capital output and capital and output per head. So the point is, an increase in the savings rate results in an increase in the capital per head and an increase in the output per head. Output per head. That is clear in this diagram. But there is a point to be noted here. Even though higher saving results in higher output per head, it is not necessary that consumption per head increases as saving rate rises. Even though higher capital per head results in higher output per head, it is not necessary that output per head is maximum or output per head increases as savings per head increases. There is a level of saving rate that produces highest level of consumption per head. There is a level of saving rate that produces the highest level of consumption per worker. That point is known as the golden level of K by L ratio, or simply it is known as K gold. That is the capital labor ratio at which consumption per worker is maximum is known as golden level of K by L, or is simply known as K gold. This point will be discussed at a later session. So, it is clear from the Solow model that saving rate is a key determinant of steady state capital stock. Saving rate and hence investment rate, saving is assumed to be equal to investment, is a key determinant of steady state capital stock. If saving rate is high, economy will have a large capital stock and a higher level of output in the steady state. And if saving rate is low, capital stock is low and hence the level of output. What the point is, if an economy saves a considerable share of its income, its capital per head and output per head will be high. That is, per capita income will be high. On the other hand, if the economy saves only a little of its output, then its capital per head and output per head, or what is known as per capita income, will be low. So, one reason for differences in per capita income is differences in saving rate across countries. Country with the highest saving rate will have higher capital labor ratio and higher output per head compared to country with the lower savings and hence lower capital labor ratio. Now, what does Solow model says about relation between savings and economic growth? Savings and economic growth. What is the relation between savings and economic growth in the Solow model? Now, as saving rate increases, economy will experience rapid growth, but not permanently, only temporarily. That is, higher savings lead to higher growth only temporarily. Increase in the rate of savings increases growth only until the economy reaches the new steady state. Remember this. Initially, this was a steady state. As saving rate increases, steady state is given by K star 2. So, there is economic growth in this period. That is, capital per head increases and hence output per head also increases. But only for a short period of time. Once the economy reaches the new steady state, there is no further economic growth. Economic growth ceases. So, what we say is changes in the saving rate affect the level of capital and output per worker, but not the long run growth of these variables. Change in the saving rate affects capital per head and output per head, but not the growth rate of these variables. In other words, saving rate has only a level effect and no growth effect. Saving rate has only a level effect, no growth effect. That is the point. Only a level effect. There is no growth effect. That is, there is growth only temporarily, but after some time it ceases. So, as you can see in the graph, when S1FK becomes S2FK, economy experiences growth until new steady state is reached. Again, once the new steady state is reached, then capital per head and output per head is constant. So, during this brief period of time, both K by L and Y by L increases. But once it reaches the new steady state, again depreciation is equal to saving rate, and investment and depreciation are equal at this point, say point 2, and delta K is equal to 0. Delta K is equal to 0, and there is no increase in K by L or Y by L. And why this happens? Why an increase in the saving rate will not cause sustained growth in capital per head and output per head? The reason is diminishing marginal product of capital. The reason why growth will cease after some times is due to diminishing MBK. That is, as capital increases, it becomes less productive. Now, assuming that the ratio of worker to population is similar in all the countries, ratio of worker to population is similar in all the countries, we expect that higher a country's savings rate and higher the investment, then higher will be the per capita income. If the ratio of population to working force is same, higher the savings rate, higher will be the per capita income, because this is output per head can be converted into per capita income. Lower the savings rate, lower will be the per capita income. So, one factor determining differences in the standard of living and per capita income is differences in saving rate across countries. Differences in differences in saving rate across countries. But remember this, saving rate has only a level effect but no growth effect. If saving increases, there will be an increase in output per head and capital per head temporarily for some times until the new steady state is reached. This can be expressed by a simple graph. Consider this. Now, at t is equal to t1, t is equal to t1, this is k star 1 and k star 2. This is y star 1, y star 2 and kt yt. Now, what I say is at t is equal to t1, capital stock increases from k star 1 to k star 2. As a result, output per head increases from y star to y star 1 to y star 2. But beyond this, output per head is constant. So it has only a level effect. There will be an increase in capital per head and hence output per head, but only temporarily. And this is a basic result of Solow model. That is, saving rate has only a level effect and no growth effect. And this is all about the saving rate on steady state. Steady state value of k by L and y by L depends on the saving rate. And you can explain differences in per capita income and standard of living in terms of differences in saving rate between countries.